I don't want to sound like a broken record at this point, but like literally before this video, I only had like one non-Sonic video. And then before that, I had a Sonic video. And then I'm doing another Sonic video now, and I'm planning to do more. And yeah, I guess I'm doing Sonic content for a little bit.
We're gonna make him do this till he's 90.
All right, let's roll. Okay, so I got to play the closed beta for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, and I am pleasantly surprised with it. So before I head over, the footage that you're going to see from PlayStation 5, from my PlayStation 5, and this is not the final version of the game, so of course it's a beta, just so you know. But I am surprised because this game looks way too polished to be a beta. So my first impressions, I think I can sum it up as being surprised. This is the first Sonic racing game after Team Racing, and that was a few years ago. I think it was like 2018, 2019, and that game was alright. I mean, it had a lot of shortcomings, that's for sure, from fewer characters, and the gameplay itself wasn't as, let's say, fun. I do have it, and it's not like the most fun out of them all. I never played like Sonic Riders or Sonic Transformed, but this game in particular, the Team Racing one, it wasn't, that memorable. And the fact that it had few characters and it felt a little generic, it was a shame. But this game feels like it's redoing itself, which is kind of cool because, you know, Sonic Transformed is one of, or probably one of the best kart racing games out there. So bringing back those elements back to going to, you know, in the air and in the water, it's really cool. The one thing that I didn't get to try was the extreme gear, the surfboards, or whatever you want to call them. I thought that they were going to be in the game, but they weren't. Other than that, I feel like the game itself, it was a pleasant surprise. Like, the controls are smooth, the graphics look great, the music is actually surprisingly good. I mean, it's not really surprisingly good, it's a Sonic game, so technically speaking, if you're playing a Sonic game, it doesn't matter the quality of the game itself. If the music is good, you know, it's good enough. But still, like, listening to the tracks while racing was actually pretty satisfying for me to listen to. And the level designs, the maps are actually pretty good to look at, actually. There were some instances where it was a little bit unpredictable, you know, when it comes down to like the turns and all that stuff. It turns a little chaotic at times with a bunch of items and stuff going around, but it's not like I got lost. I found myself adapting pretty fast to each lap. But the main mechanic here, the CrossWorlds part, right? So after the first lap, whoever's first has to choose what part or what map they're going to next, right? So I didn't get to try them all. There were a few that you know, people just skipped, so they're randomized. It's not like the game it already predetermines or tells you like, oh, if you choose this map you have these other two variations or anything like that. So the game itself, it's randomized in that sense. You can even like choose like a random option, which is kind of cool. But having this sort of unpredictability in this type of racing game, especially a kart racing game, it makes it really refreshing and fun, actually. Even though, yeah, it turns a little repetitive, it's still like you won't know what you're gonna get. You gotta adapt, and in games like this, that's the main key. The main purpose of this option is to keep that gameplay varied and stuff, and you can see these different worlds. And not only that, but the fact that all of this is happening in real time with basically no loading times and while being online is really impressive. So from a technical standpoint, I'm surprised that the game didn't crash on me. And that's another thing. Like, the game is buttery smooth. Like, it's so good to look at. It plays really well. I didn't had any sort of crashes or any sort of bugs or anything like that. So again, I was really surprised with the level of quality of this game. Even though again it's a beta. Coming down to you know, those little things, the gameplay itself, the moment-to-moment gameplay. I think the game itself, it's very, very good. Now, there's some other things too that I tried. I didn't try all of it because I wasn't really interested, but there's like a card customization, which is really cool. I did like the fact that every little thing that you would upgrade to, it would affect your stats. It was cool to see, you know, those changes, and the customizing options are pretty varied. At least for a beta, it's not too bad. There's also some badges stuff that gives you some upgrades with some items and stuff. That I think it was pretty cool, pretty different from other games of this type. Which it's all right. I mean, I'm not into it. I'm personally not into it. I just want to race. You know, I'm not into like those types of systems. But the game itself was really cool. Did like the different characters that are in here too. So there were only like 10 characters, I think it was, in the game, but there's around like 20 something, 28 characters that are going to be on launch, and more. Like literally in the bottom of the character select it says and many more. So I think that this game is gonna be a surprise. Will it compete directly with Mario Kart 9 if it launches this year? Well, who knows. I think this game is going to be really interesting to see. Sega is taking this seriously. Sonic Team is taking Sonic more seriously, which is surprising. Hopefully we can see this game either this year or the next year. At this point, like I said, like how polished the game is, and everything feels, let's say, in a ready state. I think this game can come in this year. I'm pretty sure. So if you go to the PlayStation Store or any of the other stores or Steam or whatever, it doesn't have a specific date. So I'm pretty curious. I'm speculating that, yeah, by probably the end of the year, we might have the game. We got to get a little bit closer to like summer. I want to say maybe a little before what's called the Summer Game Fest. We might have a date, so we'll see. Another thing, the game itself, like the rubber banding in terms of difficulty, I think it's pretty good. I mean, of course, you know, there's some certain items that are more useful than others, but I didn't think that it was too bad. I think it was in the same level of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which isn't to say much. I mean, it's pretty basic. Or most of these kart racing games do it, but it's not as painful as others. So this game in particular, I think it respects what difficulty is, and this is more of a reach out more to other players that played not only Sonic Racing in general, but Sonic Team Racing or Sonic Transformed, Sonic Riders, which again I haven't played before, so I really wanted to give it a shot at trying these surfboards, but we don't get to see that, or at least as far as I saw, there wasn't really an option to choose those. So my guess is probably they're going to try that later. They're going to probably release another beta, maybe an open beta, later throughout the year, so we'll see. But other than that, my first impressions, again, really surprised. I think that's how I can sum it up. Really surprised. Quality, the graphics, the soundtrack, the gameplay, the options that you have to customize. It's a fun time. It's a really fun game, and I suck at racing games. I suck. You're probably going to see in the footage me crashing with everything. I'm not really that good at racing games, but I was surprised. So hopefully we can see more of this. I think that's going to be it for this video. Really short and sweet. I just wanted to put it out there. Now, what are your thoughts about this game? Did you get a chance to play it? And I want to know, like, what are your expectations after playing the beta? Are you surprised as I am? Just let me know in the comments. And of course, as always, go ahead and subscribe, press like, and check my other videos. I have some really cool stuff in there, and I'm also working on a lot of different videos, so hopefully you can look forward to it. So if you want to look forward to it, or if you want to see them, the only way to do it is to subscribe. So go ahead and do it. Now, thank you guys for being here. I'll see you in the next one.